Welcome to the Boone County Nature School, the opening of a phenomenal place for the phenomenal scholars. I'm Superintendent Dr. Brian Yearwood, and I'm delighted to have you all here to celebrate this beautiful new school. Before I get started, I'd like to make some introductions of some special guests that we have with us here today. Please hold your applause to the end so we can get through this. First, I'd like to introduce our Board of Education, our President, Ms. Suzette Waters, that's here. Okay, hold on. No. Remember, that old teacher is coming out in me now, okay? We have our Vice President, Mr. John Lyman. Here we go. We have our ex-board member that's here with us as well recently that he brought me into the fold, Mr. Chris Horn. Come on, Mr. Chris. And we have also with us former board members, Jan Meese, that's here with us. Where's Jan? Let's take a wave, okay? Hold your applause. Someone that's very dear to me, I consider her friend, and someone that helped me especially during my first day of transition. Our former DESE commissioner, who is now the new MDC Education Branch Chief, Ms. Marjorie Van Dieven, that's sitting up here. Thank you for working with me in my first year here, trust me. All right. From the City of Columbia, we have Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Nick Foster. Where's Mr. Foster? I know he's here somewhere, right there. Okay, we have Councilman Mr. Don Waterman. Thank you for coming. From our Boone County Commission, Presiding Commissioner Kip Kendrick. Where's Kip? Okay, back here. Commissioner Janet Thompson and Commissioner Justin Allred. Okay, let's keep it moving. All right. All right. We have our CPS alum, Senate candidate Stephen Weber. Where's Mr. Weber? All right, back there. Thank you, sir. Chamber of Commerce President, Mr. Matt McCormick. Thank you, sir. Our State Representative, Kathy Steinhoff. Right here, thank you. Alumni also. And, I call them the Magnificent Seven. These are individuals that I meet with basically every day. And you say you surround yourself with people smarter than you can look good. So I'm looking good because of this Magnificent Seven. We have Dr. Lizelle Oldfield. He's our Chief Operations Officer. Where's Lizelle? Right here, thank you. We have Ms. Heather MacArthur, our Chief Financial Officer. We have Dr. Jeff Klein, our Chief Academic Officer. Right there. We have Dr. Michelle Holtz, our Chief Human Resources Officer. Oh, back here, okay, back there. Dr. Helen Porter, our Chief Schools Officer. Ms. Carla London, our Chief Equity Officer. And Miss Michelle Baumstark, how can I forget that? The phenomenal Michelle Baumstark that may help put this together, our Chief Communications Officer. We also have representatives and commissioners from the Missouri Department of Conservation, including current Director Mr. Jason Sumners and former Director Sarah Pauly. You will hear from them in just a few minutes. I know they have some very special guests that they would like to acknowledge. Let's give our guests a round of applause for being here. Thank you. This project has been a decade in the making. Back in 2013, the former Board of Education President, Jan Meese, and her husband, Bill Meese, both avid members of the Columbia Audubon Society, visited what is known as a Wolf School in Springfield. This sparked an idea that there could be a place in our own community for our children to experience place-based learning and the outdoors. The district worked with former Superintendent Dr. Peter Stiepelman and the board and our science department on fleshing out the idea and search for the right partner in this endeavor. Finally, it wasn't until 2018 we found an amazing partner with the Missouri Department of Conservation. A steering committee was formed and was led by Dr. Stiepelman and former Conservation Director Sarah Pauly, a CPS alum. This partnership grew, and the project became a joint endeavor between CPS, the Department of Conservation, and our community. The nearly $7 million facility would not have been possible without the investment of CPS, MDC, and our phenomenal supportive community. Former Superintendent Stiepleman and others worked tirelessly to raise nearly $2 million in funds for this project. And many of our generous donors and organization supporters are here with us today. We could not have done this without your commitment to this vision. From the City of Columbia to Boone County to the CPS Foundation, the Columbia Audubon Society, community foundations, nature organizations, and many, many private donors, the outpouring of support and investment in our children has been significant and is much, much appreciated. Now, it's very unfortunate Dr. Stiepleman could not be here with us today, but he sent his gratitude and his well wishes. We miss him. We are also grateful to the Waters family and the late Hank Waters and Vicki Russell for their generous donation of land for this project in 2019. What great generosity. Vicki is here with us today. You believed in the vision. Where's Vicki? Thank you. Thank you. You believed in the vision. You believed in this, and you said yes to this idea. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This school will welcome scholars from all over Boone County. From the beginning, the vision was to provide access to all scholars in our community. We are delighted to have with us today school leaders from our surrounding Boone County school districts as well, including Southern Boone and Harrisburg. Thank you for being here today. Superintendents, if you're here, please wave your hands. There was some that, oh, they're outside, they're out in the hallway. Okay, they've been here. They know, superintendents know where to be. I also want to acknowledge the work of our design and construction teams. They were phenomenal. When COVID hit, we had to pivot on many things, but they worked quickly to adjust and keep the project moving forward. This was no small feat. Thank you to PWA Architects and our general contractor, Verslus Construction, our CPS departments, including purchasing, the business office, facilities, construction services, and operations. I also want to thank our CPS Science Department for their continuous work to make this place a special and unique learning opportunity for our scholars. We have our science curriculum coordinators and our nature school educators for both CPS and MDC with us today. And you will hear from CPS Elementary Science Coordinator Reagan Webb in just a minute. But before I pass the mic to Director Sumners, I want to close by saying thank you. Thank you for believing in the importance of place-based learning. Thank you for believing in an idea and for helping to stay the course and make this vision a reality. Thank you for supporting our schools. Thank you for supporting our scholars. Thank you for putting our scholars first. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's give you a round of applause, please. At this time, I'd like to introduce our MDC Director, Mr. Jason Sumners. If you'd come forward and share some words with us. Thank you.
Wow. I did not expect this sort of a crowd. I know as we've talked about today and everything that's, culminated today, within the department, we were certainly excited and thought there were a few folks who were probably likely as equally excited, but no idea that there was going to be this much support, and this is truly incredible. To recognize a few kind of important MDC folks that are here, we have with us Commissioner Emeritus Marilyn Bradford, who, commissioners past and commissioners present are extremely passionate about this project. As Mr. Yearwood mentioned, it's been a long time in the making, and so we're extremely happy to have you here. We also have with us current Commissioner Ray Wagner. Ray, thanks for being here. And many, many MDC staff. I won't even start to list you all, but everybody sees the triangles around, and again, it really reflects the commitment that the agency has to this kind of work. I wouldn't But I do want to call out a couple people, Brian Flowers and Jenna Steeks, certainly their continued dedication and due diligence through the trials and tribulations of putting a project like this together. It's never simple and never easy, and so really, really appreciate you all. As was mentioned, this thing is intended to be a collaboration between the Department of Conservation, Columbia Public Schools, and this great community, which is reflected by the group here, and we also certainly recognize the exceptional contribution from Vicki Russell and the late Hank Waters for this special place that we get to put this on, and the fact that it's connected to Three Creeks Conservation Area, and a really cool part of Boone County that's a beautiful place. So very, very much appreciate that. Again, as was mentioned, planning and construction of this began in 2018. This really is the first nature school on a conservation land, right? We're standing on more than 100 acres, and Sarah and I have had the opportunity to talk to our colleagues across the country about this sort of project, and we get that Missouri eye roll from our counterparts across the country. The things that we're able to do with conservation in Missouri, because of the Missouri model of conservation, are so unique and so innovative and so creative that we certainly are the envy of the country. And this project in and of itself is a shining example of those things that are possible because of the broad-based citizen support that we have, and we certainly appreciate and recognize that. As was mentioned, this nature school is more than 8,000 square feet, 4 nature-themed classrooms, the lab space, nature and school-related exhibits and offices for our staff that are going to be housed here. It really is cool, and that it's intended to serve, as was mentioned, all of the schools in Boone County. And for me, that's kind of personally special. I have with me my 9-year-old son, who's a current 4th grader at Southern Boone, and when we were walking in, he goes, "Dad, am I going to get to go here?" I said, "I sure hope so." We've been working on it, and for the timing, it's like emotionally special for it to have opened this year, a practice run with Columbia Public Schools, and hopefully we'll have some others in here in the near future. So certainly an exciting one for him and for our family. And so as I think about that, for me, it really is kind of personal. Representative Sassman and I were chatting in the room across the way. I feel like I'm kind of at the tail end of the generation that had nature as our playground, right? It was easy for us to get outdoors and understand the value that comes from that, and we certainly recognize the disconnect that exists today between kids and nature. And so the opportunity for this to be a place where all of our Boone County children get to come and experience nature and all the benefits that come from learning in the outdoors and learning about the outdoors as we continue to understand and appreciate the value that nature provides to us. We could not, at the Department of Conservation, be more excited about this project, more committed to making it be a success. And so thank you all for coming, and thanks for having us.
My name is Suzette Waters. I'm honored to be here representing the Board of Education of Columbia Public Schools. Raise your hand if you think this might be the most beautiful school in Missouri. This building is a culmination of an idea that, like has been mentioned, started more than a decade ago. The idea was to share the wonders of nature with children across Boone County, and it just would never have become a reality without the support of so many. And I think the size of the crowd in this room is reflective of the great amount of support that we have had for this project and continue to have for all the projects that we work on at Columbia Public Schools. As some of you may know, I have a personal connection to this place. My husband's dad, Hank Waters, and his wife, Vicki Russell, who's here with us today, bought this property more than 40 years ago and built their home here. I actually met my future in-laws on a deck overlooking Turkey Creek. Over the years, my children enjoyed fishing, picking wild blackberries, scampering around in the creek, getting filthy, and one time scaring Nana Vicki half to death getting lost in the snow. Do you remember that? Good times, that. We made memories around the fire pit. We wandered in the woods for hours looking for morel mushrooms and not finding any. And we sat in lawn chairs in the driveway watching many sunsets and one total solar eclipse. This place is where my children learned to appreciate the outdoors. They probably took for granted the gift they had been given to have access to a place where they could fall in love with nature. But now, thanks to the sharing of this beautiful land by Hank and Vicki and the support of the many already mentioned, this will be a place where thousands of Boone County's children will have the chance to experience, investigate, and fall in love with nature. That was the original vision all those years ago, and today we celebrate its arrival. Columbia Public Schools is proud to be the kind of district that provides exceptional opportunities for every student. Learning happens in many ways, and hands-on is, in my opinion, especially in the outdoors, going to be one of their favorites. I know Hank would be thrilled, along with all of us here, to see this amazing place. I can't wait to see this building filled with kids. This is for them. Thank you. I would like to now introduce former Director of the Department of Conservation, Sarah Parker-Pauley.
Well, I'm not sure I can add much to all the wonderful remarks that have already been made, so I will definitely keep mine short. But, you know, I woke up this morning, and it's one of those special mornings when you just you're filled with so much gratitude, and it's almost surreal. Mary Lynn, I think you kind of said the same thing, that it almost seems surreal for those of us who have been involved in this project throughout, to know that today is the day that we finally get to cut this ribbon and officially welcome beautiful fifth graders from around the county. And so forgive me if I feel a little and sound a little emotional today, because it is an emotional day for me. And I think about, and as has been said, so many partners that were involved in this effort from the beginning. And I feel Peter Stiepelman here with us, and Dr. Yearwood, your amazing support, and the support of the CBS board. The city and county officials, I just think of at the right time, and so much of this, timing is everything, right, Vicki? Timing is everything. And just piece of this story after piece of this story, it was just the right people in the right place. It was just meant to be. And I think that's how I feel when I look around these grounds and the people here. It simply has just been meant to be from the beginning. As has been said, Brian and Jenna and Heather and Reagan, and on the list goes of people who have been committed to this, and not just committed, but have poured their hearts and souls into the vision, into, down to the very last detail. And I shouldn't even begin to list names, but there are just some of you who, from the beginning, have just poured your heart and souls into this. Roger Still, I saw him in here, and he was so instrumental in really the creation and the facilitation of herding cats from the beginning. Roger, where are you? You did a lot of cat herding and a lot of brainstorming, and right? And we all wanted the world, and he helped us kind of begin to channel what this place truly could be. And Jason alluded to the Missouri model, and I want to get even a little more specific in that it was Boone County in particular where the conservation movement in this state truly began. You think about, and I'm looking at CFM, former board members, and I think Tyler Schwartz is here, the current executive director of the Conservation Federation of Missouri. The roots are in Columbia, right? The roots of sportsmen and women from around this state really beginning to formulate what the vision for conservation in this state was. It happened here in Boone County. And from those first meetings, of course, came the Missouri Department of Conservation. And I feel a little bit like the spirit of E. Sidney Stevens, who was the very first chairman of the Conservation Commission, is here with us today. He, of course, from Boone County. So it is no surprise to me, and probably not to many of you of others, that the first model of this kind, this national model that we've heard about this morning, would also be here in Boone County. And yes, I'm a Boone County girl and a CPS grad, so hey, woo. Jason alluded to this, but I think it cannot be lost on us that, yes, some of us were fortunate enough to have family and friends who made this beautiful introduction to the outdoors for us. But the reality is, without places like this, so many kids today would not have that introduction. My belief is that on these grounds, the future natural resource stewards from Missouri and beyond will be introduced to nature and connected with nature here. Think about that. So thank you, Boone County. Thank you, so many partners in this room who were at the right place and at the right time and said yes to the Boone County Nature School. So I finish with this. Let the love of nature be discovered here and thrive here on these grounds. And may this love for the outdoors change the world for the better. Thank you.
All right, I am Reagan Webb, and I'm the Elementary Science Coordinator for Columbia Public Schools. And I would just like to thank you again for joining us for this exciting event. This beautiful building and amazing property was made possible through the generosity of a family, the vision of some amazing organizational leaders, the support of our community and our community partners, and a whole lot of hard work and dedication. This unique collaboration between Columbia Public Schools and our Department of Conservation is something to be celebrated. We would not be here today without our partners in the Conservation Department. All of this is worthy of mentioning, and this building is impressive. And what is going to make Boone County Nature School a school are all of the students who will get to learn here in this building and on this property, and all of our outstanding educators we have hired to lead them through 7 days of hands-on, experiential, place-based learning. Those students will be the legacy of this project. I hope that they will think the building is cool and interesting, but when they go home after being here, I hope they are not talking about how nice the building is. I hope they are talking about the learning that they experienced here. All fifth graders in Columbia Public Schools are already on the calendar for 7 days of integrated learning here at the Nature School. They will spend 3 days in the fall, 2 days in the winter, and 2 days in the spring. The calendar is also open for other Boone County schools to sign up to come and learn in this place this year. So you can get signed up this year. And so what they're going to experience while they're here in the fall, they'll be here for 3 days. They will explore different Missouri ecosystems here on the property. They will connect to Missouri's history at the Boone County History and Culture Center just down the road, and begin to work on a sustainability project that they will work on throughout the school year. During their winter sessions, they will focus on cycles and change. They'll focus on the phenomenon of migration. They will look at real migration data and see what is happening with different species of birds and also monarch butterflies. They will be mapping migratory patterns, graphing data, and analyzing it. They will learn how humans have changed ecosystems using data from multiple sources to figure out what our impact is. And then during their spring session, they will look at seasonal changes. They will have observed this place during 3 seasons. They will additionally look at data about endangered species and analyze it. They will also be presenting their sustainability projects that they have been working on throughout the school year. In addition to all of this academic learning, they will also learn new skills such as fishing and orienteering. This place isn't just for 5th graders though. We will have middle school students utilizing the property for science camps, while other elementary and high school students have access to the property for field trips. This place has so much potential, and we cannot wait to welcome our first group of 5th graders next week. So yeah, that's what's cheering right there. 5th graders are going to be here in a week. And so thank you again to our Conservation Department partners, the generous donors, and especially Vicki Russell and the entire Waters family for helping this vision become a reality. So thank you. And now I get to do what I feel like I've been doing all along, logistics. We are gonna go outside for the ribbon cutting.
Okay, welcome everybody! Hello! I'm Tim Nahr with the 20, representing the Columbia Chamber Ambassadors, and we're here to cut the ribbon and make this official. Woo! So, we're going to do a pose shot first. Don't cut. No hands here or here. They're heavy, so everybody get a good hold. Okay, pose shot. Okay, so on the count of 3, we're going to say congratulations, Nature School. Smile, everybody smile, and then cut. That's when we cut. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, Nature School.